Jaya Jaya, Shiva Rajaya here from vitalcoaching.com. We are talking about tantric coupling, and the fourth area or the fourth branch of this tantric coupling experience that you can really enhance and develop, that we cover within the context of retreats or workshops, is the idea of being shadow masters as partner. So shadow mastery for couples. What do I mean by that? I mean that when you have tension within your relationship, you might have a trigger that emerges. You can withdraw within the context of that experience, try to avoid each other, be in a space where there is going to be triggers sustained over an extended period of time, things that are undigested emotions that stay within the context of your relationship, or you can engage full on into it and discover ways of digesting that energy, integrating it, and thriving within the context of shadows. As much as you thrive when there is light, you can thrive when there is darkness, shadows, immaturities coming to the surface. So this is another one of the core areas that we cover within the field of tantric coupling. And you will discover techniques to practice emotional release with your partner, communicate in ways that de-escalate fights when fights are rising, or escalate them even more and use passion and intensity to actually create connection. You have things that emotional peak experiences that you can have that I call shadowgasms or fightgasm, which is when there is an escalation that happens and you enter into passion, fiery, and you stay connected with each other. Then eventually you can explode into this space where the fight itself and the tension completely dissolve. So the way I look at it is like that. What defines shadow or light is a perception of our mind. This is a construct of our mind. Deep inside, what's happening when there is friction or there is tension or there is exchange of energy or love, it is just circulation of energy. And our mind labels it as right or wrong. So for instance, when you have tension or you're having a fight, you go like, well, something's wrong, we should all be having that fight. It creates tension. But if you start shifting your perspective and you go like, you know what, all the energy, absolutely everything that can rise within the context of your relationship might have some value. So the idea is this: shadow mastery for couples. It means that you learn how to navigate the storms, and it's an art form, okay? It's not just a linear thing where you repeat the same practice and the same experience over and over again. No, you are going to dive deep into it and learn how to navigate that as a ninja. Sometimes the right strategy is to de-escalate a fight. Other times it might be interesting to just meet your partner who might be triggered and start escalating the intensity so that you enter into this space of passion together and use that to actually create a deeper bonding experience. This is trauma bonding or shadow bonding experience that can be brought to the surface. So you notice that these are strategies or approaches that are not used within the traditional relating or coupling models. Most of the times, when there is shadow or there is something coming to the surface, we want to de-escalate, we want to shut down, we want to keep all those shadows away from the couple or the relationship. Whereas here, what we're doing is consciously diving into it. So this doesn't mean that we don't have boundaries. It doesn't mean that we are not, setting up safety. It's a whole art form, and we are going to dive deeper, of course, within the context of these retreats and events that are coming up. And it's a long story. It's not something that the mastery of those shadows doesn't happen overnight. It's not just a couple of tricks. It's like really learning how to jump into these waves of intensity, passion, shadows that might be hitting your couple, and then learning how to surf the waves. And so to become really masterful at that, you have to be exposed to those experiences multiple times. It's a little bit like if you want to become a good surfer in stormy conditions, you've got to jump into the ocean and dare to play the game or play with these energies. So it's a really long, big energy reality that we are talking about here. It's not something that I'm going to cover here in this video in just 5 minutes, but know that it's a profound topic that we are diving into it within the context of tantric coupling.